Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my latest birding purchase. This is the Smart Bird Feeder, solar power Smart Bird Feeder from the company WoBirdy. I'm not sure, I think WoBirdy is affiliated with Woo Sports. I've used some of Woo Sports trail cameras before. They are excellent, so I'm hoping their bird feeder is equally as good. I wanted to quickly show you kind of what the feeder looks like, what does it come with, and then we're going to take a look at the app. And then of course we'll put it out and see if we get any bird footage and see what the footage is like. The reason I went with this feeder is it's relatively small. If you've ever bought some of these smart feeders before, they can be really big, and it has integrated solar panels in the roof. So you've got a solar panel here and you've got a solar panel here. There's some other companies that do that, but a lot of them will give you an external solar panel, and it kind of makes your bird feeder look like a science project. So I like the way WoBirdy did this all in one, your solar panel and your camera. Let's take a look at everything we get. Cloth mounting strap for mounting it, a brick for plugging in your USB Type-C charging cable. You really shouldn't need this too much other than maybe your initial charge to get it fully charged. If you look at it, it's got a really small seat area, which I like because I don't want a ton of birds. I just like having a few birds at a time eating. You could just put seed in the bottom here. They also let you put seed in the top. We'll look at that here in a second. Optional perch for the bottom. All you do is you stick it on, and then they give you a couple of screws that you would screw in the top. So I did want to clarify one thing that I mentioned earlier. If you're looking to use the perch, there's no hardware needed for the perch. It's got some lines here. You basically line it up with the grooves that are already on the perch, and you simply push it down into place, and that locks into place. They've got some metal threads on the inside. I have no idea what that's for. I thought it was for these little screws. They give you these two little screws, but apparently what they're for is if you've got something like a pole flange like this, it allows you to connect it to their mounting arm. They don't give you a pole flange, so you'd have to have your own, but that's what those screws are for. I really like the mounting options they give you with this feeder. You've got a metal arm that you could either attach to your bird pole or attach to a wall. And then the way this is designed, you can turn the feeder any direction you want to, so you'll always have the perfect angle to be able to see the birds at your feeder. That's if you use this arm. They also give you a hanging hook, which is pretty rare for a smart bird feeder, but if you wanted to, you could attach that and you could hang the bird feeder. And look at that. I just like the look of it. Nice, small, looks like a regular bird feeder out there. There are some screws in the back and in the bottom. What those do is it allows you, if you wanted to, you could push out the feeder and get inside there and clean your bird seed. The way it is designed is, which I really have never seen before, you've got a cover up here that you simply slide back, open up, and you're going to pour your seed in from the top. I'll give you hopefully a look on the inside. Maybe I'll do a still shot to show you. But your seed goes in, take your cover, put it back on, close it, and it is sealed. So you don't have to worry about any kind of moisture or anything like that getting inside the feeder. All right, so I wanted to show you guys what it looked like on my bird pole. I'm going to hang it because I'm kind of hoping doves will not eat from it, but we will see if that works or not. It was easy enough to hang. Now the big question is, will any birds use it, and what will the footage look like? All right, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time, but I did want to at least show you the app that this bird feeder uses. It's called the WoBirdy app. Just like most smart bird feeders, there's things in here I like. There's things in here that I wish they would change, but all in all, it works pretty good. You're seeing it from an Apple user, and this is totally free. When you go in, you've got this home page that'll basically show you all of your captures, and it does a pretty good job of labeling them. You can see, you know, this one, for example, is a Carolina chickadee, and then you've got tuft titmouse, northern cardinal. The bird identification works really well. I can click on any one of these to get a better view. I'll say this, the image and video quality on this camera is excellent. probably the best I've ever had with a smart bird feeder. The other thing I like is it's really zoomed in on just the feeder. You don't catch a whole lot of other stuff. You just catch what bird is at the feeder. Now, the thing I don't like is I can't sit here and swipe to a different image. I have to close it, go back to this main page, and then go to a different image, which to me is kind of a pain. I wish I could just go into this zoom view and just sit there and swipe through all of my pictures. You'll notice I've got this option to save it as a favorite. I've also got the 3 dots. If you click on that, you can download the images. So if you want hard copies to put on your computer or to share on social media, you could do that. I could read more about the bird, or I could delete the image. So that's just a real quick view. Now the other thing is, if you go under device, you can do a live view of what's going on at your bird feeder at any time by clicking that play button in the middle. I can also see my Wi-Fi status, and then my feeder is on. If I click on the gear icon, it'll take me to the settings of my feeder. We'll look at that here in a second. You'll notice that little cloud icon. If I click on it, that's how you get to your video recordings. This is another thing I wish they would change. You can see it's bird detection, bird detection, bird detection, but I have to click on the actual video file to see what is the actual bird. Well, that's kind of a pain. Again, I could download the video file. I could delete it. But you have to go back each time to pull up a different video file. Again, the video quality is excellent. So far there's nothing really to brag about. Yeah, it works pretty good. The coolest thing about this smart bird feeder though is if you click on the settings icon, one, the solar panel is doing a great job. It's always at 100%. I've never once seen it drop below 97%. So solar charging is really good. You'll notice this option down here that says feeding plan though. This is the first smart bird feeder I've ever seen that you can control how much seed is getting dropped. So I showed you before how you can put seed in the top. If you set a feeding plan, you can determine how much seed gets dropped to the actual seed tray per day. If you're somebody like me, that's great because I try and feed a more expensive seed. Well, this keeps my budget in control because I don't have seed in my tray all day long. The other thing is, if you've got some birds like doves or something that'll sit on your feeder all day eating, you can kind of control how much they eat. You know, let it feed in the morning for a little bit, let them come and eat, and then drop again in the middle of the day, drop again in the afternoon, something like that. It works really well. I'll try and attach a video to show you what happens or how it dispenses that seed. But again, first smart bird feeder I've ever seen that does that. There's some other companies that have feeders that do this, but I've never seen one that actually has a camera built in as well. Assuming you have your notifications turned on, you will get notifications whenever your bird seed is low and you need to refill your feeder, which is also a cool feature. You'll also get notifications whenever there is a bird at your feeder. So that's it. I'm going to leave you with some sample videos and image files so you can see the quality of this feeder. As always, if the video helps, thumbs up are appreciated. If you like birding items, I hope you'll think about subscribing to this channel. This has been a look at the WoBirdy Smart Bird Feeder. Thanks for watching.